Good evening. My name is Erlinda Roma, and I am the Vice Chair of the Design Review Commission. And I'd like to call this meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. Um, Commissioner Salo, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure. They usually bring it up on screen. That's right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Sala. Tonight's meeting is live streamed on cable channel 3 and on our online platforms. Excuse me, I forgot something. Christine, will you please lead us in roll call?
Yes. Vice Chair Romo,
Here.
Commissioner Salo,
Here.
Commissioner Tu,
Here.
Commissioner Lopez,
Here.
and Commissioner Myers.
Yes, Commissioner Myers has an excused absence for health reasons.
Great. And we do have a new commissioner joining us tonight, so I'd like to try to do brief introduction so everyone could get to know one another. So why don't we start with the right side of the dais. Ron, you want to do a brief intro for our new? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hello, my name's Ron Nestor. I'm the city architect. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Hello, my name is Ron Nestor. I am the city architect, consulting city architect. I am a senior principal with the firm WHA in Newport Beach, and I have about 45 years of experience in housing and community design, and I've designed a lot of other buildings, like the MTA Tower at Union Station, but my heart is in housing. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Loya Tu, and I am the one of the commissioners, and I am the founder and principal principal architect of Archimorphic in Los Angeles. We do a lot of mixed-use residential commercial projects. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Erlinda Romo. I'm a retired economic development specialist and downtown association manager, former city of San Gabriel employee, and vice chair of this group. Thank you.
I am Commissioner Salo. I work as an owner's rep for various property owners and developers.
Hi, I'm Guillermo Lopez. I am not as experienced in housing except for the ones I built myself or hired somebody to build. But I have business experience. I've also been licensed in real estate. So I want to contribute to the community as much as I can, and I'm new. Thank you.
Great, welcome.
Great, thank you. So now, tonight's meeting is live streamed on cable channel 3 and our online platforms. To prevent any overlaps in comments, each commissioner will be called upon to speak. Number 1, public comment. This time is set aside for members of the public to address the Design Review Commission on items of interest that are not on the agenda but are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Commission. Pursuant to the Brown Act, the Design Review Commission cannot answer any questions or take any action until such time as the matter may appear on the item on a future agenda. If you wish to address the Design Review Commission, please fill out a speaker card that is available at the back table. Once completed, kindly submit the card to the recording secretary. Speakers will be called upon to the podium one by one. Each speaker will be given up to 3 minutes to speak. Is there anyone here to speak on public comment? Great. Hearing none, we'll go to item number 2, consent calendar. All items under the consent calendar are considered routine, and recommendations will be approved in one motion unless a member of the Design Review Commission or public requests separate discussion. Commissioner Tu, do Do you have any items to pull?
I think regarding the the meeting minute for last meeting, I noticed that the minute is it has less detail as it previously. The way is put together is not consistent with the previous meeting minute, and I do prefer the previous way of doing it because it has a lot more information regarding which commission has stated specifically regarding the subject matters. It helps us to actually because we don't have perfect memory for what we have said in the meeting. So that would be really helpful to see that in the minute. Yeah, that's my comments.
Sam, would you like to address that?
Yes, thank you, Vice Chair, members of the Commission. To provide the Commission with an update, it is the intent of the Community Development Director to align the meeting minutes to be similar to the City Council's action meeting minutes. However, the comments from the Commission will be recorded and received this evening, and the Community Development Director will take a look at that to see if maybe a little bit more information can be included.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Tu, would you like to pull any items from the consent calendar?
Oh, no, I don't have items. Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Commissioner Salo?
No.
Commissioner Lopez?
None, thank you.
Okay. All right. Christine? I'm sorry. I just saw your last name. Ms. Song, have we received any requests from the public to pull any item?
We have not.
Okay. All right. So in that case, I'd like to entertain a motion. Is there anyone who'd like to make a motion?
To approve the consent calendar? Yeah. So this is Commissioner Sayla. Motion to approve the consent calendar.
Okay.
This is Commissioner Tu, and I second.
We have a motion made by Commissioner Salo and seconded by Commissioner Tu. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Sayla,
Yes.
Commissioner Tu,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Roma.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. All right. So the consent calendar with the minutes has been approved. We now have another action for tonight is the selection of chair. Is there anyone who'd like to have a...
Yes, Vice Chair, members of the Commission, if staff can go over procedures briefly in the absence of a chair currently. It has been agendized this evening for the selection of a chair and also a vice chair with item number 4. The procedures for selecting a chair and similarly for Vice Chair Romo will open the floor to take nominations for chair, and nominations can be made by any member of the Commission, and a member can nominate him or herself and can also nominate the presiding chair or vice chair. A nomination can be declined by a nominee, and if a nominee declines, the member nominating can amend their nomination or not nominate. When there are no further nominations, Vice Chair Romo will close the nominations and call for a vote. If there is only one nomination, Vice Chair Romo can close the nominations and call for a vote. If there are multiple nominations, Vice Chair Romo will call for a vote on each nomination in the order that they were made. The newly selected chair will then take over the meeting to call for the vote for the position of vice chair. And so with that, Vice Chair, if you can open the nominations.
Great. Is there anyone who'd like to make a nomination for the chair?
I'd like to nominate Ms. Romo for the chair.
Yeah, I would like to nominate Vice Chair Romo to be the chair.
Okay, so I guess that's a first and a second.
Yes, Vice Chair, and if at this time, if there's any other nominations, if not, then a vote can be called for.
Great. Commissioner Salo, do you have a nomination?
No.
Okay. Then I called for the question.
Commissioner Salo,
Yes.
Commissioner 2,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez,
Yes.
and Vice Chair Romo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
So now we have a second. That motion was passed with 4 yeses and one person absent. So now we have the selection of vice chair. Is there anyone who'd like to make a motion to nominate someone as for vice chair?
I would like to make a nomination for Commissioner Salo to be the vice chair.
Any other nominations?
I second that.
Okay. There's a first and there's a second for Commissioner Salo to be vice chair. First motion, the motion was made by Commissioner 2 and seconded by Commissioner Lopez. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Salo,
Yes.
Commissioner 2,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez,
Yes.
Chair Romo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. Now we go to our next item, item number 5, public hearing. Sam.
Yes, congratulations, Chair and Vice Chair. Good evening, and thank you for participating and tuning into tonight's Design Review Commission meeting. My name is Samantha Tiwasart, Planning Manager with the Community Development Department. There's one public hearing item this evening. Copies of the agenda and the staff report for tonight's hearing are available on the city's website at www.sangabrielcity.com and on the table by the entrance. If you wish to speak on an item this evening and are not the project applicant, please fill out a speaker card and submit it to the recording secretary, which is Christine this evening. Speaker cards are available also at the back table. Please write down the item number that you would like to speak on, and speakers will be called up one by one to the podium during the public hearing portion of each item, and each speaker will be given up to 3 minutes to speak. Any decision made this evening by the Design Review Commission is appealable to the City Council, and the deadline for filing an appeal application concerning a decision made tonight is Monday, July 12th. Otherwise, the decision made this evening will be effective on Tuesday. If you wish to appeal an application, please contact the project planner for the applicable application and fees. For each item tonight, staff will provide a summary of the staff report, followed by a presentation from the applicant if there is any. Then the public hearing will be open. For the public comments, the applicant will be provided the opportunity to rebut if they choose. Prior to the close of the public hearing, the commission may ask questions of the applicant, staff, or the city architect. However, once the public hearing is closed, the opportunity for public comment has ended. And Madam Chair, at this time, staff is ready to present item A.
Great. Anthony, if you can please lead us with this.
Thank you, Chair Romo, and congratulations to Chair and Vice Chair. So let's see. The public hearing item tonight is for a site plan review to propose a new second-story addition to an existing single-family residence located at the address 624 Dewey Avenue, planning case number PL-16-161. The property is located on the south side of Dewey Avenue, between California Street to the west and South San Gabriel Boulevard to the east. The 7,827 square foot lot is currently developed with an 846 square foot one-story single-family residence, and an attached one-car garage. The property is neighbored by a single-family residence to the north, and located in the RNC zone, and single-family residence to the south, east, and west located in the R1 zone. As mentioned, the property is located in the R1 zone and has a general land use designation of low-density residential. On November 21st, 2021, the Design Review Commission originally considered the proposed project. However, it was continued to a future meeting to a date uncertain due to the following reasons. The rendering that was provided did not show a true representation of the project, and it also did not match the original facade. Information regarding the proposed material was not sufficient. Side elevations were described as being too monochromatic. Stone material on the front facade did not match what the proposed style. Proposed windows did not match the proposed style, and a detailed landscape plan was not provided. Since then, the owner has brought on a new designer to assist with the proposed project. The drawing to the left is the previous proposal, and the drawing to the right is what's being proposed tonight. The project is for a Spanish Revival style home that provides recessed windows with frames that are a classic brown color that is appropriate to the proposed style, as well as having arc forms downstairs for the window and the door entry, divided lights, Talavera tiles placed at the base of the windows on the front elevation, exposed roof rafters, the use of a Spanish tile roof, as well as other exterior details and color schemes that are true to the proposed project style. And the next slide is just a side elevation of what the previous project was versus what is being proposed tonight. This slide is of the site plan showing that the project applicant will be adding an addition to the first floor as well as adding that new second floor. That attached one-car garage that was located towards the front of the residence will be demolished, replaced with a driveway that leads to the three-car garage located in the rear of the property. And on this slide is just the proposed rendering of the proposed project. The table on this slide shows the proposed project as it aligns with the San Gabriel Municipal Code. The project was found to be in compliance with lot coverage, floor area ratio, height, setbacks, and the parking spaces. As part of the San Gabriel Municipal Code requirements for properties that are proposing either a new second-story addition or a new house, a neighborhood analysis must be conducted to show how many two-story homes are located within a 300-foot radius of the proposed project site. This has been provided as attachment F in the packet, and it shows that there are 4 single-family home properties with a two-story residence. This project was found to be consistent with the general plan following Community Design Goal 10.3, which is to create designs that live and breathe with San Gabriel's neighborhoods as they themselves live and breathe. The project is categorically exempt from the requirements of the California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, per guideline section 15303, class 3 for new construction or conversion of small structures. Even though this project was taken to the November 2021 Design Review Commission meeting, it was continued to a date uncertain. Therefore, noticing was required for tonight's meeting and was conducted in the following ways. Mail notices were sent out to properties within a 300-foot radius of the subject site. A notice was posted at the front of the subject site. A notice was posted in an issue of the San Gabriel Sun, as well as having tonight's Design Review Commission agenda posted at the City Hall, San Gabriel Post Office, San Gabriel Library, and on our city's website. And it is with that that staff recommends that the Design Review Commission adopt a resolution of the Design Review Commission of the City of San Gabriel, California, approving planning case number PL-16-161 for a second-story addition to an existing single-family residence located at 624 Dewey Avenue, subject to the recommended conditions of approval. This will conclude staff's presentation for the item. Staff is available for any questions. We also have the owner and the designer here to answer any questions as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. At this time, I'd like to see if any of the commissioners have questions regarding this project for staff. Commissioner Tu?
Oh, yes, I have a question for staff. I just want to clarify the 45-degree angle that define the envelope of the building. Does it include the chimneys and any other architectural element, or it's just the envelope of the building itself? It would be at the drawing 8-3.
Yes, so it would include chimneys. However, for side setbacks in the R1 zone, the applicant has two options. Either they follow the 45-degree angle, or they meet the 10-foot setback on each side. In this case, they would meet the 10-foot
Okay.
setback. They just wanted to show the 45-degree.
Thank you for clarifying.
Sure.
Thank you. I don't have other questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Tu. Commissioner Saylor?
No questions for staff.
Commissioner Lopez?
No questions.
Okay. I don't have any questions for staff either. So at this time, I'd like to ask the applicant to come forward and make any comments to the commission.
Good evening. I'm the applicant. My name's Wilson Tan. This design speaks for itself, so that's all I can say.
Do you have no further comment?
No.
Okay. Then at this time, I'd like to see if the commission has questions for you. Please don't sit
Okay.
down yet.
All right.
Commissioner Tu?
Yes, I think I would like to compliment on the design, because I think the entire design quality has been elevated a lot from the previous design, and a lot of architectural detail has been added, and then the rendering looks pretty amazing, particularly when it's actually provided the surrounding of the building, and actually being scaled right and put it in the right place compared to the first iteration. I don't
Thank
have
you.
much comment on that, and I would like to applaud for the design. I just have one thing I would like to bring up, that currently the total living area is really close to the maximum buildable area. It's just 1 square foot difference. I would just like to remind the designer, maybe leave a little bit of allowances, something like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Tu. Commissioner Saylor?
Yeah, I agree with Commissioner Tu's comments, and I'm glad that we gave the applicant team this extra 7 months to reconsider their design. It shows that the process that we have here works, and this is a very clear example of the value that this commission brings to the community. So thank you for that.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Saylor. Commissioner Lopez?
I have no questions for the owner. Thank you.
Okay. I do have one question, and I'd like to echo the comments of the commissioners. The design is much better than what was previously presented in November. My question is concerning the entryway and the porch. There are some exterior lanterns that are on the outside, but then we have the interior of the porch itself. It is that arch entryway. My question is there going to be a light inside that?
Yes, we could propose, yeah, ceiling lights there.
Yes. I think that would definitely brighten up that area.
Yes, I
and
agree.
In the rendering, you have the shadow. There's also a little cutout on one side of that porch area. But I
Right.
think just for safety, if you have that ceiling light on the interior of the
Yeah.
porch, that would be helpful, beneficial. I have a porch, and even with my porch light, sometimes it's tough to get the key in, so it's a safety feature. I do want to compliment you. The tile that you show on the side to just kind of break up the building and the massing
Yes.
makes a big difference. The tile in the front also adds to the character of the house. And when we're building structures, I think we should look at building structures that are going to be around for 50 or more years, and not have a disposable building that's going to fall down and with materials that aren't long lasting. So I want to compliment you on that.
Thank you.
All right. So, are there any public comments on this matter? Okay.
Good evening. Isela Bowles, longtime resident here in San Gabriel, and I often keep track of what's going on in our city. So thank you for your time, for being here and volunteering your time as well. I do have some concerns because it does look like a very massive project from what it was before to now. Not to say that he doesn't have that ability, but it does seem to me and I just wanted to double check in with Anthony. I didn't get a chance to call him today, but I do see several balconies, and in the past, some of these balconies were not calculated in the FAR of whatever was the lot. So I wanted to make sure that that's what's, that those balconies, those enclosed balconies are part of the FAR. It seems like the building height, again, I haven't really take a really good look at this project, but it does seem to be pretty massive as far as like the setbacks on the side. So if you look at the proposal, it's a beautiful proposal. But I just want to make sure that we are within the realm of things, because like I said, in the past, some of these details have been overlooked, and I just wanted to make sure. So those are kind of my questions. And whether the chimney on the front looks quite tall. So again, I think I'm gonna piggyback with Commissioner 2 with that angle, whether it is a 45 angle or not. So if you would follow through with that, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for your comments. Anthony, would you like to respond?
Yes, thank you, Chair Romo. So yes, balconies would count towards floor area ratio if they were permanently covered. However, I just confirmed with the designer that they are not covered balconies. Some of them are actually Juliet balconies. The one that is on the, actually, let me pull it up on here. Yes, the one that is on, I believe this is the east elevation. That is not a covered balcony. I confirmed that with the designer. So that would not be counted towards the floor area ratio.
Would you like to address the height and the massing?
Yes, so the height is proposed at 23 feet, I believe it is. Yes, 23 feet. The maximum allowance in this zone is 28 feet. So it is complying with the height requirement or the height allowance.
Okay. And as far as the other issues that were just brought up by Gisela, we're fine. Are we fine or?
Yeah, no, it is
Big
under
close.
the maximum allowance per the code. Yeah, it meets the height requirement, it meets the setback requirements, and it meets the floor area ratio. And it was determined that the massing, this was also reviewed by our city architect, and I think they addressed the massing, but maybe we could get comments from the city architect on that just to confirm.
Thank you. I was not the original reviewer of this project, but I've seen the revised version, and I have to compliment the applicant as well, that you've hired a much better designer, and this is a very nice project. Also, it's well documented compared to a lot of them that we see, so very thorough, and I applaud you for that. One thing I want to comment on is, compared to especially the first version, this version hides much of the second floor, so it doesn't loom and dominate over it, and the second floor is well set back from the front, and then the long side elevation along the driveway is treated as another front, so it's very nicely designed in that way. In the few comments that I did have, they've responded with the one exception of solar fields. They haven't indicated where solar panels may occur. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Are there any more comments from members of the public? No. I'm sorry. Okay. So it is now 7:01, and the time for public comment on this item is now closed. We actually already went to city staff regarding additional comments. I don't think there's a rebuttal from the applicant, is that correct? Great. So now it's time for our commission deliberation and discussion. Commissioner Two?
I don't have further comments on the budget, and I think I'm comfortable to approve the project. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Salo?
Yeah, I just want to confirm one thing regarding one of the public comments. The chimney on the fireplace does appear to exceed the building height listed at 23 feet, but I assume it's well under the 28-foot building height limit. That is correct? Okay. Yeah, no further comments.
Commissioner Lopez?
I just want to clarify, one of the other commissioners brought up with the same chimney about the 45-degree angle, and you stated that it was either the 10-foot setback on the site to mitigate that. I just want to clarify that it's either or not, or.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner Lopez. R1 development standards does allow for the either or. The word or is provided there to allow applicants to either provide that 45-degree angle if the lot is too narrow to provide 10 feet on each side, or provide the 10 feet. For this project, where the 45-degree angle is shown to intercept with the chimney, that is the driveway side, so I believe they're proposing it at 13 feet, so they're well within the required 10 feet setback for that side. Thank you.
And then Anthony, before you sit down, Do you have any other comments?
No, thank you.
Okay. So on the permeable surface, can you outline and tell us what's permeable with the landscape plan?
Maybe would this be something that the applicant can confirm? What is what they're proposing to use for permeable material, or?
Yes, Madam Chair. If that is the case, then the public comments will have to be opened so that the applicant can address the comment.
Okay. So I'm going to reopen the public comment. It is 7:05 for the applicant to answer that question.
Okay, and then that's the. Okay, maybe I could pull up the slide. Okay, so the applicant has told me that the permeable, you can't really see it on that screen. It is along the driveway. Oh, thank you, Ron.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's the banding. Kind of that's along the, okay. All right. I wanted to clarify that. All right. Thank you. I have no other comments. So it is now 7:06, and I'm reclosing the public hearing on this item. I'd like to thank staff and the applicant for clarifying that matter. So, at this time, I'd like to see if there's a motion from one of the commissioners on this project.
If I may, prior to the motion, if I can just have one question, please.
Sure.
I noticed there's 3 garages on the proposed property. Will these be able to be converted into ADUs?
Yes, thank you for the question, Commissioner Lopez. So the project, the way that it's proposed right now, it does require the 3-car garage space. However, if the project is, once it's finalized, of course, once it's final from inspections, if the applicant does choose to come back in the future and submit a separate application to turn that into an ADU, they would be allowed to per the state law.
Okay. And how would that impact the requirement of the 3-car garage?
We cannot require replacement parking for the main house if they convert the garage into an ADU.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. So with that, is there a motion to approve this project?
And this is Commissioner Salo. I motion to approve planning case number PL-16-161.
Thank you, Commissioner Salo. Is there a second?
Oh, I second.
Great. We have a motion by Commissioner Salo and a second by Commissioner Tu. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Tu?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes.
Vice Chair Zalo?
Yes.
Chair Roma?
Yes.
Motion passes with a vote of 4-0.
Thank you. We now go to item number 6, comments from the planning manager.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair and members of the Commission. There are no project updates from planning staff this evening. However, staff does want to take the opportunity to introduce Christine Song, who is a senior planner for the planning division. Christine took over Matt Chang's position. So Christine has been with the city for a little bit over 2 months now. This is our second in-person meeting, so we haven't really had the opportunity to give Christine the proper introduction, but staff did want to take the opportunity to make this introduction.
Welcome, Christine.
Welcome.
I have the pleasure of working with Christine's sister, here in the city of San Gabriel. Once I saw her last name, I was like, oh, yes, I think you were in high school.
Yes, I was.
So, welcome and say
Thank
hello to
you.
Grace. Commissioner Tu, did you have something to say?
Well, I would like to say welcome as well.
Thank you, Commissioner.
All right. Now we go to item number 7, Commissioner comments and conference/meeting reports. Each commissioner may address the commission on public matters of general information or concern. This is also a time for the commissioners to report on any conferences and/or meetings they have attended. Commissioner Tu?
I don't have any meeting to report to. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Sala?
Nothing to report, thank you.
Commissioner Lopez?
No, nothing to comment on. I would just, I know one of the public brought up the point about the balconies. And is there some sort of requirement or how can I put it? If they were, the premise was that they were open, therefore they didn't count. How is the owner barred from suddenly covering them and putting a window there? I mean, what recourse does the city have in that sense?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the commission. In that sense, if it's a violation of the development standards, then potentially it would start with the city's neighborhood improvement services. But to step back one step, plan check, the plans are required to comply with the Design Review Commission's approval. Going through the plan check approval and the review by planning and building, and also throughout construction. If after construction there is a conversion or a form of construction that is not shown on the plans or has not obtained permits, then it does become a neighborhood improvement services, otherwise code enforcement item. The property owner will receive notification to address that item. In particular, when a project is close to the maximum development standards, it is important that they do comply with the requirements of the code. So the city does enforce the numbers that are indicated on the plans.
Let me just ask one more further down. Can this be construed some sort of type of ADU when you cover the patios? And somehow into say, well, it's part of it. I'm trying to create some more housing. Would that fly?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the commission. So by state laws, as well as the city's codes, the space that is allowed to be converted are the approved square footage. So any conversions would not include converting a non-habitable space that has not been identified as the existing floor area. So no, that would not be permitted.
Thank you for clarifying.
I have a few comments. First of all, I'd like to thank 2 former commissioners, Commissioner Raymond Chang and Commissioner Marla Madole. They served for what, 20 years? Pretty much. I mean, what huge dedication. Yeah, that. I met them when I worked for the city in the 20 years ago. So, it's something pretty remarkable that they gave so much service. Don't look at that for me, but I am a proud resident, and I will do what I can within normal limits. And I do want to just comment. A couple of weeks ago, I was in an event in celebration of the 250th anniversary of the San Gabriel Mission founding. So we hear about the Hollywood Bowl turning 100 this year. We hear about the Rose Bowl and their 100th anniversary. The mission across the street, 250 years from its founding. And that's something, huge bragging rights. So I'm really happy that we have such a historical structure in our city and that it's being celebrated. Um, with that, we're looking to item number 8, adjournment of the Design Review Commission meeting. This will